Everybody, Gerone Wright here, and once again you're joining me on my Gerone Wright channel. Okay, in this video I'm going to be discussing a real sense scenario which can explain away alien abductions wherein people are really convinced that they have been abducted by aliens that have flew through Earth's atmospheric layerings through one way or another, or maybe even through a dimensional portal, and appear in our world. It's my position that these abductions in people's minds, which are seemingly real, can be explained through something that I've discovered and I experienced myself. Okay, here's a guy. There's an alien, and up here in the corner here, these are the pictures and images of the little guys that we so often hear in description of what they actually look like. Okay, I've seen one of these guys before. In fact, I held one of these little guys in my hand. Okay, not the entire body, but the head, the face, the image, the arms, and the waist was actually cut off right about there, and I held one of these guys in my hand. You know, and how I had it put in my hand is that an ex-girlfriend of mine who actually had became pregnant. She actually had miscarried, and what happened is when she miscarried, I think it was 8 to 10 weeks after her miscarriage, she actually took in I don't know if it was 8 to 10 or a month, but it's around that time. And what happened is that on her way to the bathroom, and the blood and everything that came down, the fetus actually came down, and she held it and she placed it in plastic for me to see. And I came right on over and she showed it to me, and we both looked at it and we both pointed out. I said, it looks like an alien. The fetus at some point or another through the stage point of pregnancy, the baby in the womb has this image that you see here. Okay, through the birthing process, through the development of that fetus in a woman's belly, this creature appearance is present. I've seen it in my hand and I witnessed it firsthand. Okay, so I'm telling you that through the birthing process, a woman's fetus is identical to this. This is our description of alien. This is an alien. A woman's fetus in the body goes through this metamorphosis in appearance. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to keep going. Okay. Now, I've seen this guy, and I've just explained to you how I seen it, how it came into my head. In fact, I buried the little guy in a cemetery next to another loved one family member, in a little box, in a little coffin-like box. And because the child, it was my child and her child, and we actually buried the child together. But I'm telling you that the face on it, when I looked at it upon inspection, I told her, and I looked at her and said, this is the description of aliens, and she agreed. You know what I mean? And I'm sure that most other people that experience something similar or understand, the growing doctors would probably know the birthing process and the development of a fetus. They know that these images are what the metamorphosis that the baby goes through. Okay, and I seen it firsthand. So anyway, I want to keep on going. Now, we have abductions around the world globally. It's my position that this little guy, the image of this little guy, comes into mind during these abductions, because it's an experience, that an abduction that we have all have. We have all been abducted before. And you know where that abduction takes place? That abduction takes place in delivery rooms. We have all been delivered through the bellies of our mothers. And we are taken from a bubble, from an earthly bubble inside of your mother. You're pulled out through this canal. There's an operation. You're pulled out through this canal. You're pushed out. And the first thing that you see when you come out is people in scrubs, whether they be blue or green with their face covers up, and when your eyes squint open, you have this blurred vision of these alien people that you see as a child. Your eyes open up. The first time your eyes open up, you see people with gloves on, you see people in green, and you see just their eyes because their mouth is covered over, normally with a mouse covering piece. So you have this description of an alien from a child because this is your only interpretation on it. This is what you decipher this as being. You're in an operating room 9 times out of 10. In some cases, it depends on what era you come from. There can be big reflection devices, which would be silver disc and lighting that shows like this, like you see here. But back in the earlier days, they had the big round disc. Doctors had the big round disc on their head. Remember, you see the scenario that I'm driving at here, people? So it's my position that an alien abduction can be something that a person is going through a relived moment of when they were born. And they relived it through a chemistry that provoked their mindset to come into this direction and say, hey, I've been abducted. It's an early on child experience that they went through that has some type of way been released, dimensionally been released in their mind that caused them to relive it again through a birthing process that they experience, something that they truly experience. And this is why these people truly believe in their minds that they have been abducted. And this is what this abduction thing can be explained away as. Now, how about in scenarios where you have 2 people that are together somewhere in the world globally, and something happens where they say they see a spaceship, and they see this ship comes down and it takes both of them away, and they both corroborating each other, this, that, and the third. I'm going to give you a scenario like that as well too. It's my position that throughout our world that there is gas matter release. There is a chemistry in our world that is still unknown to science today. Let's just say that me and you, for example, are walking through Yellowstone Park here in America, and through that journey, there is a chemistry of volcanic matter being released, a chemistry in a gas that causes like that has like an hallucinogenic gas matter in it that causes a dimensional close in our minds of one state of being and another state of being to open. And in that transition of that state of that dimensioning doorway, because we all have it in our minds, it causes us to hallucinate based on not just what is happening here in reality, but something that has happened to us. And I believe that these moments can be explained away as when a person is talking about out-of-body experiences or talking about being abducted, that these are the same exact scenarios of near-death experiences. I believe that a person is exposed, or persons together are exposed to near-death experiences where the oxygen chemistry in their minds have been altered, unbeknownst to them, whether they're out on a country road, drive in a desert somewhere in the desert, or if they're just out. It usually happens where they're out in an area where there's miles and miles of other people not being around, or it could be even just household gases, a small amount of household gas, of natural gas that might be leaking from a pipe, or anything, or a train that derailed miles away and released a harmful gas, and unbeknownst to them that this chemistry made it into their mind, shut down a level of oxygen in their mind, and caused a near-death experience in their mind and in their body, and unbeknownst to them that it triggers this out-of-body experience. And we all know that in dying, you relive the moments of all that happened previously. This is what people always discusses. So the number one thing that has happened to us is the birthing process of when we were taken out of our mother's womb or out of our mother's bodies. And this is what I'm discussing that people are experiencing as being that of an alien abduction, because they did not understand that they're going back in time not forward in time, back in time to when they were born and taken out. And what they're seeing is a message board of being delivered, people in green suits over top of them, cutting umbilical cords, causing them pain, clipping penises, taking and giving C-sections, and what else has ever been going on that they're witnessing, and they're believing that it's some type of implantation going on, where actually they have relived their birthday moment. And this, people, is what abductions, alien abductions, in my mind, comes to actually being explained away by, because this is a reasonable scenario that can actually be equated with something scientific, something that actually happened in your past, and a provoked memory that is causing you to relive a moment. And the only way that you can describe it, because you did not reasonably look at this first, is that you describe it as being equated with something alien-like, because there's no way in your mind that you could have thought that you rode through something, or dimensionally, some kind of way, your mind was triggered to relive your birthday moments, with this a momentous time in your life that was suppressed and somehow became unlocked. My name is Gerone Wright, and you heard it here first. And I'm telling you, people, that through my paranoid experience and encounter, I can only bring you videos like this is because, you know why? It's because I'm experiencing something genuine. Thank you. I'm going to end this video here.